Welcome back. This is Richard, and I want to especially welcome back listeners in the 72 countries listening to this. This is about innovation best practices specifically designed to help you sell more and make more. If it isn't proven, if it isn't practical, you won't hear about it here from me. And this is help that can help any innovation program with any business with any innovation need. So, there are a couple of ways, actually 3 ways, that you can get the information in these episodes. One is a VideoCast that's available on YouTube. All you need to do is go to YouTube and in the search bar at the top, put Richard Innovation Best Practices. Search results will come up. We'll be 4th, 5th, 6th, whatever it is down the list. Click on it and you'll be right at the page where the current VideoCasts are available. You can also listen to this as a podcast. You can go to i2ge.com. That's the letter I, number 2, ge.com/podcast. Or you can go to iTunes in the podcast section. In the search bar, search for Innovation Best Practices. If you are on iTunes, would greatly appreciate it if you could give us a 5-star rating and review. This really helps get the word out about the free innovation best practices. We also have free apps that you can listen to on your iPhone or iPad, and as well as Android devices at Google Play. So you got free VideoCast, free podcast, free apps, and a free blog at i2ge.com/blog. So, other things that you can do to connect with Innovation Best Practices is you can get my twice-a-month newsletter that has insights not available in any of the podcast or VideoCast. To get this, all you need to do is take out your phone and text to this number, 33444, 33444, the word free 33, one word, no spaces, free 33. And if you want to contact me, and I love hearing from listeners, you just send me an email to richard@i2ge.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Okay, today's episode is about innovating every step of the process. And I've not really addressed this particular approach to innovation before, and I find it a very interesting one that it can have potential rewards. And we tend to look at innovation in this particular approach as having looking at all the steps required to do the job, both big and small. The source of the insights in this episode come from a Harvard Business Review article titled "The Customer-Centered Innovation Map." And in the spirit of innovation best practices, I think the Harvard Business Review certainly qualifies as a good source for that. Okay. The authors say, in summarizing, they refer to their method as job mapping. And they say that this, open quote, breaks down the task the customer wants done into a series of discrete process steps. By deconstructing a job from beginning to end, a company gains a complete view of all the points at which a customer might desire more help, innovation, yes, from a product or service, namely at each step of the job. They say that there are 3 characteristics of the steps of the job, and that all jobs involve a process. All jobs have a universal structure. They've identified 8 steps that are a part of every job, and we're going to go through each of those 8 steps pretty quickly. And thirdly, they say jobs and solutions are different things. For example, if my job will be to complete my tax return, the solution is TurboTax. So jobs and solutions are very different things. Okay, let's get into the 8 steps. We're going to start with step 1, obviously, and that's define the job. Here, you're trying to determine the goal of the job. What's the outcome? What's success look like? And you assess and select and identify resources. Throughout this, I'm going to give you an example of making an apple pie. But I must give, in the interest of full disclosure, I've never made an apple pie. The truth of the matter is I don't think I've ever made anything. My wife very appropriately keeps me out of the kitchen. But even without any credentials, that doesn't slow me down. So I'm going to be giving an example in each of the steps about an apple pie. So bear with me. In this case, defining the job is I want to make a 14-inch apple pie. Resources, I need a recipe, I need some specific utensils and bowls, need a place to cook it and all that sort of stuff. Okay? Second step is locate what you need. Now that you've defined what you need, locate it. In the case of an apple pie, you want to locate the right recipe, the right ingredients, mixing bowls, pie dish, and all the rest of the stuff that needs to go. U-Haul does a pretty good job of this. Not only do they help rent the vehicle, but they've identified the many steps that are involved in a move, and they provide you boxes, tapes, carts, and all that sort of stuff. Have a relationship with eMove that can help you with packers, babysitters, cleaners, and painters. So very interesting how U-Haul has moved to monetize the various steps in a move. The third one is prepare to do the job. This is organizing what you need to do for the job. Back to my apple pie example, it's organizing to use the right ingredients in the right sequence, getting the bowls and utensils set up in a convenient location. The fourth step is confirm. You confirm that what you thought was going to happen is happening. In my apple pie example, you confirm that ingredients are coming together and mixing as you expected. Step 5 is execute. You do the job with the ingredients, tools, resources, whatever it is that you identified and set up. In the pie example, you go through all the recipe steps leading up to having a crust in the pie dish and putting the apple filling into the crust. Step 6 is monitor. You determine if the job is proceeding as you planned. Again, back to my apple pie example. The apple pie is now in the oven at the prescribed cooking time, prescribed cooking time, and at a set temperature. A good cook will periodically check the appearance of the pie in the oven. Step 7 is to modify. You look for opportunities or needs to modify how you originally thought the process was going to go. You look for adjustments that might need to be made. In my apple pie example, in evaluating the baking of an apple pie, an experienced cook might note that the crust is getting too dark too fast and modifying the cooking temperature by setting it a bit lower. The 8th and last step is conclude. In the conclusion stage, an evaluation is made about how the entire process went, especially focusing on the quality of the expected outcome. Back to my apple pie example. After tasting the apple pie, the cook might conclude that it went perfectly, or that they probably needed more or less of a certain ingredient to get the expected outcome. Now, I know it may sound like I know what I'm talking about an apple pie again, but I really don't. But I hope this works for you. Okay, I now having gone through the 8 steps, I now want to suggest that there are a number of questions and filters that you might want to consider as you look at the 8 steps. First, is there significant variability in executing a particular step or steps? If there is variability, does it impact the quality of the outcome? If it doesn't matter. For example, if putting 20% more or less of a certain ingredient into the apple pie really doesn't make a difference in terms of the taste, the look, and everything of the end result, then the variability doesn't matter. But if as little as a 20% variation does, then you go, wow, boy, 20% of a teaspoon is not a lot of difference. So how do I control for that? So if it does impact the quality of the outcome in a significant way, might there be solutions that can help reduce the variability and ensure a more consistent quality in the end result? So variability, does it impact the outcome? You want to look for where the customer struggles when you're looking at each of the steps. What step or steps seem to be most challenging, most frustrating? What's the cause? Is the cause important enough to impact the ultimate outcome? If so, does it seem worthy of exploring some innovative solutions? What steps take the longest time? If you could cut the time in half, would it be significant enough to be important to the customer? If so, is it worthy of exploring innovative improvements? When you take a look at cutting things like time, reducing the time to do a job, in most cases it needs to be a pretty big difference. I'm going to give an order of magnitude, at least a 50% improvement, for it to make a pretty big difference for the customer. Now, this is going to vary from situation to situation, but suffice it to say, the improvement needs to be easily and quickly noticed when somebody experiences it. You need to take a look at how current solutions work. What are their pluses? What are their minuses? Improved convenience almost always is an important and sometimes very important improvement you can make for customers. An innovative product or solution that makes something twice as easy will get the customer's attention. In my career, I've worked on a lot of product categories, and I can't tell you how many times when I look at consumer needs in each of the categories that the word convenience often appears in the top 3 consumer needs, everything from soap to wine. Now, convenience means something very different relative to soap and to wine. I got that. But nonetheless, in that context, convenience becomes pretty important. And in a lot of cases, if you can make a major improvement, again, order of magnitude 50% or greater, improvement in the convenience, you can get the customer's attention and possibly have a winning innovation. Improved outcomes are always important. That's why you do a job. It's with the intent of having a very positive outcome on the job when you do it. If quality of ingredients, tools, instructions, and other things can produce consistent quality outcomes, customers are very likely to be interested. Having the right tool to do a job can make a big difference in the quality of the outcome, for example. Cost or improved value opportunities can also be attractive to customers when they do a job. Sometimes, if it's just a lower cost to do the job, that can help. In other situations, it can be an improved value, which is a combination of a dramatic improvement in benefits with a smaller increase in price. So big increase in benefits and a correspondingly fairly low increase in price has a major positive impact on value. The combination of these two is that value improves significantly and even dramatically. And again, that can get customers' attention, depending on the category and your understanding of customers, and make a big difference. Here's some concluding thoughts. This approach and perspective on innovation is not for everyone in every situation. I got that. Having said that, it can be a very important part of the upfront deep dive and learning about how satisfied customers are with current products. So give this serious attention. I think it is worthy of your deep dive, and it is potentially a source of some really big ideas. In the next episode, I'm very excited. We're beginning a major new series of episodes. And it's going to be a series that's going to be done throughout the rest of the history of these episodes. We'll have periods of times when we do this, and I call it the how-to series. And the first of those 2 is going to be how to generate 12 times more ideas than brainstorming. Each of these episodes is going to be rich in detail and examples and step-by-step sort of things. If you're listening to the podcast, this may be a time that you also want to go view the VideoCast on YouTube, since there's going to be lots of examples, visuals there. So give that some consideration. So big new series beginning. A lot of people are very, very interested in this, so I'm glad I'm able to bring it to you. If you want to know more about innovation best practices, a couple of quick suggestions for you. First, you just can go to my website, i2ge.com. On the menu bar is an item that says DIY Innovation Training, Do-It-Yourself Innovation Training. Click on it and you'll see a whole bunch of training programs. If you don't see one that really fits your needs, just send me an email. We'd be glad to tailor one for you. Here's the intent behind this. I want to make you innovation self-sufficient so that you don't need to hire expensive consultants like me and others. The difference here is this DIY innovation training can save you thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Another resource for you is from one of the 6 books that I've published. That one is Proven Practical Innovation That Delivers Results. It's available only at Amazon as a Kindle book and paperback. It's value priced below my break-even cost, so it's a great value. If you have suggestions, comments, or requests, I love hearing from you. So drop me an email at richard@i2ge.com. You know from listening to these episodes that I'm deeply appreciative of you taking time out of your busy day to spend it with these episodes. I really look forward to connecting with you again, and until then, please have a great day.